I would like to know why is it the Holy Lama Mala that is so powerful? Instead of giving it free as a blessing to whoever needs it, why do they demand such a high price to be bought?
Oh, that's a very good question. Because places like Malaysia are not geared toward the support of Buddhism and its growth. Buddhism here does not collect money. Buddhism doesn't require 15% from your salary. Buddhism doesn't demand you to give money. Buddhism is on the basis of begging, and Buddha started that. And so, many people, when you beg, they give very little. How do you sustain such a place? How do you make a place comfortable? How do you give? Because we're not in a culture of giving and supporting Dharma. Whereas if you go to a place like Taiwan, wow, you just name Dharma, you say Buddha, you say monk, they immediately give. Even the poorest give. If you go to Tibet, the minute you mention Lama, they see saffron robes, they give immediately. Because here, there's not a culture of that to support yet. So therefore, it's much harder for Buddhist institutions here to gain support, to gain money, to gain donations, to gain help. Because you have to deal with sponsors, you have to deal with people, you have to deal with their lives, their funding, how much they have. It's a lot of effort to raise funds, a lot. And some more, very few people will give and not want something back. Very few will just give. So what happens is, Buddhist organizations around here have been forced into a position in order to survive, literally, to donate and auction off high lamas things to support. And that's a shame. It's a shame for the public. It's a shame for the people who claim they want Dharma. It's a shame for people who walk into the Dharma center and do nothing to help it and to make it grow. They just walk in and sit down and say, I want the Dharma and I'm holy and I chant. Because they have done nothing to help it. They do nothing to help it. So when they do nothing to help it and they come in, they demand all the rights of people who've done so much work, how will it survive? So in order for Buddhism to survive, it has to reach that level where, in a country where they're not so sure on how to make it survive, things like that are done. And it's not good for the public. It's not good for image. It's not good for anyone. That's correct. But what other ways will it survive? In Tibet, sponsors and patrons will come and just donate. India, Tibet, Nepal, China, Taiwan, all these, they just come and they give land. They don't demand the Lama to give this. They don't demand the blessing. They don't want this or want that. They know the benefits of Dharma. They know the health. So they don't demand. They don't even demand to see the Lama. They just said, I will donate because they know it's good. I donate in the name of my beautiful mother and donate in the name of my beautiful son. Whatever, they just donate and they give. And when they give, the Buddhist organizations can grow because it's easier. How do you expect Dharma to grow with no money? It cannot. So the only thing they have is the precious items from their lamas. So in these countries, such as Taiwan and Tibet and China and all these places, where actually sponsors give precious items, like money to help the Dharma grow, the lamas and the people remember their kindness, and they ask the lamas to give something holy to them, to bless them. Here, it doesn't happen like that. It doesn't happen. Here, we have tables for our Tsok people to use. Even that one, we ask them to pay $50 a month. Please add to our temple. They say no. They say we can't afford. We don't want. Even $50 a month cannot. Even $25 a month cannot. They make it very difficult for the temple to survive. So, no choice in order to pay the bills, in order to sustain until sponsorship does come, but eventually sponsorship will come. If you do well and correct, then you have to donate and auction off these holy items, which, sad to say, should not be. It's not bad karma, but it reflects the public. Alright? Yeah. So they're very high prices. Do you know why? Another reason is some lamas have kept their malas for 10 years, and they use it every single day. Imagine just getting one piece. It's worth much more than $5,000. I know one lama. He has recently passed away. His name is Jolenpa Genima Rinpoche. He did his studies in Ganden Monastery. Listen carefully, it's very beautiful. He did his studies in Ganden Monastery. And just before he graduated and finished, he ran away. He split and disappeared to Bhutan. We never heard from him again. Do you know that he went to the darkest and deepest forests of Bhutan, away from the capital of Thimphu, and he engaged in meditation? Do you know his hut is the size of a bed? So it's It's about this size of my throne in the table, slightly longer, where he can just lay down. There's some space in between. He has a picture of the Dalai Lama and Lama Tsongkhapa there, a tanka. Just one tanka, a painting of Lama Tsongkhapa. And he has a bed, and he has meditation and his text. That's it. That's it. And he has to walk to the river every day to get water, to meditate, to cook up his things with fire. And he stayed there in the forest. Do you know that he was in the forest for 15 years meditating, this great Tibetan Lama? What happened was, some villagers of Bhutan happened upon him by accident. And they had some problems and difficulties. And they asked Gyalama Rinpoche to bless them. Do you know when Gyalama Rinpoche blessed them? He has a pipe, a long pipe, because he's not allowed to touch women. He blew on the person. The person's disease healed. His fame grew. You know what happened? More villagers came, and that's not what he wanted. In fact, he wanted to stay away to complete his meditation. In fact, he became so famous that the Queen of Bhutan and the Princess of Bhutan built a road from the capital of Thimphu all the way into the forest, which did not make him happy. And then hundreds of visitors every day. And then he collected all these donations money, which he doesn't care. And every time someone's going down to India, he would take all these money and ask them to donate to Dalai Lama. He says, I'm a monk, I don't need, because I'm not going to build a temple. So all this money was sent to Dalai Lama and sent down to Ganden Monastery. He also sent a lot of money down to Ganden Monastery from his donations. A lot. And so the Dalai Lama himself sent instructions for him to go back to Ganden Monastery. So he went, he says there are people who have shown the power of meditation. You go down there and show them, inspire. So he went down to Ganden Monastery and he built a house behind me, while his students built a house behind me, right behind. You know, you see where that pillar is? From that pillar to where I am is the distance of his house. And I became very close with him because I used to joke and play with him and go there and, and I would say all kinds of things and tease him to death. He would love it. He thought it was funny. You have to understand, busloads of people came every single day from all over, even local Indian people, to receive his blessings. I saw with my own eyes. People would be carried in, paralyzed, to his shack and carried in for a few weeks, and then after a few weeks of him blessing them, blowing his mantra on them, they will walk out. I saw it. Not once, not twice, many times. I saw one time the Indian villagers there, they're very beautiful people, Indian people there, came out and requested him to please make the rains fall because the rains were out of season and the crops will die. You understand, over there it's crops, It is crops. You don't have crops, you starve. Literally. They assist him outside. He has a pipe. He did his mantra. He blew it in the air. I was in the window looking. He blew in the air. Within a half hour, it rained. I saw. And not once, not twice. Many times. So if anybody tells me the power of mantra or the power doesn't work, I will never believe you. Never. Because I live in the holy Ganden Monastery, which I will be visiting very soon, and I'll invite all of you to visit. Join me. I'll invite you. The ones who are lucky, who have luck, who are fortunate, and who love your parents, and who love your children, who wants to create merit for your lineage, you come with me and make offerings there with me to the Holy Sangha of 3,000 monks. Those of you who are too busy, itchy backside, don't have time, no problem. When I sit on the left-hand side of Buddha, I'll be waving at you. So it's going to be a difficult journey, not hard, but if you're smart, nothing comes without difficulty. So what happens is that this holy Lama has a mala. He's been using for 15 years. He has used it so much that there's an imprint in his finger, indented in of his mala. His name is Gyalama Rinpoche. His divinations are clairvoyance. He tells you upon sight. He's done it to me many, many times. Many times. I was shocked. All right? And his main practice is Lama Tsongkhapa, he told me, and Yamataka. He told me directly. I said, excuse me, because I wanted to learn the secret. What mantra do you do to stop the weather? I thought he wouldn't tell me because it's a secret though. He said to me, Yamataka. I was like, but I can Yamataka. Why can't I do it? I was outside when everybody went to sleep. I was like, no rain, nothing. I did it in the dark so I don't lose space. I blew all over the place. Nothing came down. And this High Lama can stop the rain too. I've seen it. And he's an old, gentle monk. I've seen people, because I used to tell me to sit around with him and joke with him. He likes me. On his court gesture, I used to sit there and make all kinds of jokes and tell him stories for hours. If nobody's nice to stay here, he'd laugh and laugh. And his attendants tell me, you're funny, huh? He usually doesn't like people gossip and play with him. He's very serious. He said he liked you. I said, of course he likes me. I was his court jester. In any case, I saw a lady possessed, screaming and jumping. I saw. I was sitting there. I didn't want to touch me because I didn't want what was inside jump to me. Then how a loose face Rinpoche got possession of. You know, Ganima shouted at that thing and said, who are you? You go away. And he blew his mantra on it. The lady collapsed. No more. I saw. Many times. I know the power of Lamas on this mantra. So he was doing that mala 15 years. 15 years in the forest. That's all he had. Do you know, in Tibetan tradition, a lama has no attachments. If you have a purpose for the mala, you can ask for it. If you don't have purpose, you're just greedy, don't ask. So what I did was, I thought I could use this mala to give to people in the future. This is what I thought. I thought in the future, I'll build temples and centers, and I need to give it to special sponsors. So I better have it for that, because nobody's going to want my mala, I was thinking. So I went up to him. The tradition is you make one mala exactly the same as his, new, and you ask for his old one. So I went there with a kata, and I asked him, and I made sure the attendants were gone. And they were. I said, Genima Rinpoche, may I have your mala? He says, this? I said, yeah. He says, here. I said, here, I offer you a new one. I grabbed it. I put it in the kata. I grabbed it. I left. I ran. I'm not kidding. I ran. I put it in the safe. And I have it with me now. And then I gave him a new one, and I let him use it for another year. I grabbed that one too. Yeah, I had it. Do you know why? People there can bless these things, and they can bless themselves. People here like us, we can't have these things. We don't have the power to bless so much. So if it has people here, and if people are going to give you, so much money, and they're going to help you grow, they're very kind. They're very generous. What do I have to offer back as a monk? My Dharma talk and blessings of Holy Lamas. What do I have to give? I have nothing. I have nothing of value. So I collected these things to give away. I have the cloth of the Dalai Lama that I can cut to give people. And Cancer Rinpoche did a 3-year, 3-month, 3-day retreat of Lord Yamataka. He did 100 million mantras on his mala. 100 million. I went up there, I gave him a new mala, and I grabbed this. I didn't even ask him if I can have it. I said, yeah, that's your new mala. You don't want that one. He said, I grabbed it. I got that one. And that mala is falling apart because he uses so much, it's like raining. So what I did is so precious to me. I took one bead and I crushed it. And I distributed it to different people to put inside their stupa, and I marked it. And on top of that, when Cancer Rinpoche cut his holy hair, he's been a monk for 60 years. I grabbed his hair. Oh yes, I have these things. I have very precious things to offer people in the future. But who should I offer it to? I'm so sorry, with no offense. People who just waltz in and don't want to put any effort, don't want to help, don't want to put anything for anybody. They just think that it's a me. I will give them things. I'll give them whatever I have, but these fees are limited. So people who work so hard, blood, sweat, and tears, and they donate or they help, or not even just money, time and energy, I will pass it on to those people. And I've left a few to the outlets, not a lot. You can ask those outlet people, 5 or 10 pieces, I don't remember what, that they're allowed to sell to raise funds to support the outlets, because our outlets do not make money. And they have to pay their bills. They're very hard to pay those bills. And I've opened those outlets in order to spread the Dharma to people, to spread the knowledge of Dharma. So those outlets make very little money. If we buy a statue for $10 and we sell it for $15, you think we can buy another statue with that? No. We make 1/3 or half what it is, and we can't buy. So when we run out of statues and we get the profit, what are we going to put in there? What? People don't understand the practical side. They just walk in, they say, "Oh, the center is beautiful, wonderful. Why do you want donations? Why do you want money?" Why? So when I get those statues from India, from Tibet, Nepal, I go there myself. I pick it out myself. It's a lot of hard work because I want people to have quality. So when those statues cost $6 and we definitely cannot sell at 100%. And you sell it at $7 or $8, people still want discount. It's a Buddha statue, don't ask for discount. You're degrading it. And on top of that, when you sell it and you make $3, what do you do with the $3? What do you do? You pay your rental, and how do you buy your next statue? So no choice, have to auction off these holy items in order to support and sustain. Until a very virtuous, kind, and generous person comes and says, I like your work, and I will donate to help you. You do not need to struggle. You do not need to beg. You do not need to auction off your things. You do not need to degrade yourself. I will support you. Every single Lama, every single monk, every single teacher in the world have sponsors. The more sponsors they have, the more the Lama can do. If you go to Taiwan, you see the sponsors that those great monks have. Huge. And they can do huge work. What is a monk going to do with the money? What is a monk going to do with the sponsorship? Except to promote Dharma in one way or another. And also give to his flock to take care of the people in his group that cannot take care of themselves for whatever reasons. So it's become like that, yes. Unfortunately. So from Kensei Rinpoche, I have holy beads, 2 sets. From His Eminence, Genima Rinpoche, I have 2 sets. And I know it's a little silly. I've done many retreats for the last 10 years before I came to Malaysia. Many I was put into. Hundreds and hundreds of thousands, millions. And I had my mala that is worn down and used. It's dark and it's light on inside from use. And I offered that up for auction also. Why? Let me tell you why. To raise funds, to build a retreat center, to raise funds, to pay off the bills, to raise funds, to hope for sponsors to come in so that in the future it can sustain itself. That's why. So their high prices, I want to expand. I want to expand. And anything that I have, a nice car, nice house, anything that I have, it is donated, offered to me by generous and kind people who want me to represent Dharma well, who want me to look correctly for the Dharma. If I'm supposed to be a high Lama, I have to look the part. Whether I'm interested or not, I have to look the part. I have to look representative. So I have no choice. So we do these things not because we like to, or I like to, oh no. You see, I give away more statues than I sell. Sometimes I get $40,000, $50,000 donation from someone, sometimes. And I buy all the statues, I give it away. People who know me here for over 10 years, they've seen me give away statues many, many, many times. Many times. I give away statues and tankas and gifts. I give away things that you would never imagine. I give $200,000 to $300,000 worth of things away as gifts to people. A year. Where does that come from? It comes from generous people who give me angbao that say, we like your work, help people. That's how much I give away. All the time. The more I have, the more I give, because what I have is enough. What I have is more than enough. So if you want to make Dharma grow, you help. If you see us selling beads and all that, it is raising funds to make the Dharma grow. And I say that to you with respect. So I have very precious beads from real Lamas. Lamas who blow in the sky and they can make things move. Not from Lamas who blow until they're blue and the only thing that moves is their wind.